You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't kick on the mic.
When looking at the 2024 NFL Draft, Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears definitely have some options. Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. As always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. So, Bears fans, over the last couple of days right here on Keek on the Mic, I've been talking a lot about quarterback Justin Fields and Caleb Williams and what direction I feel like Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears will actually go in. The other day, I actually brought up Mel Kiper and how he thinks the Chicago Bears could possibly get the number 8 overall pick from the Atlanta Falcons if we do trade Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons. At the moment, we all understand that that is just a rumor. We can't really believe everything Mel Kiper says, so please take that with a grain of salt. But one of my listeners wanted me to do a video of that situation. If the Bears did get the 8th overall pick by trading Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons, how would the draft shape out for the Chicago Bears? So I'm going to do that request for that listener. He's a very loyal listener, so I want to do that for him. But I'm actually going to do a hypothetical. I'm going to give you an A, and I'm also going to give you a B NFL draft for the Chicago Bears. One where we take Caleb Williams, and one where we keep quarterback Justin Fields. And at the end of this video, I'm going to let you guys comment down below in the comment section and let me know which option you would take for the Chicago Bears NFL draft. Personally, I just thought this would be a really fun video on today's episode of Keek on the Mic, allow you guys to choose which draft you guys would prefer in terms of which directions the Chicago Bears should actually go. So I'm going to start off with option number A. I'm going to go ahead and put option A on the screen right now and just break it down for you guys. This is the option that my listener wanted me to go over, where the Bears, in fact, trade Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons for the 8th overall selection. Obviously, in that scenario, the Chicago Bears select USC quarterback Caleb Williams with the number 1 overall pick. Then with the 8th overall pick, I have the Chicago Bears selecting tight end Brock Bowers. Obviously, a guy like Olu Fashanu was also available during this pick for the Chicago Bears, but I just thought that by adding Caleb Williams, it would be smart to give him a weapon, and a weapon in tight end Brock Bowers. I know a lot of people are going to say, well, Keek, how about Malik Nabers? How about Rome Odunze from Washington? Realistically, I do not think that Malik Nabers or Rome Odunze are going to make it to number 8 or number 9. I think that Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome Odunze, and Malik Nabers are all going to be top 6 picks. I think there's going to be a massive rush on those wide receivers because they are all legit wide receivers in this year's NFL draft. But realistically, I think if those players do go top 6, it's going to leave guys like Olu Fashanu and guys like Brock Bowers available at the number 8 overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft. So I just thought that picking a guy like Brock Bowers here would be really smart, pairing with DJ Moore, pairing with Cole Kmet. And personally, I just thought that would be a really good weapon for Caleb Williams right off the bat. The next thing I do, Bears fans, is trade the number 9 overall pick to the Las Vegas Raiders. And in return from the Las Vegas Raiders, I get the 13th overall pick and a 2nd round pick. That's 44th overall. And with the 13th overall pick, I pick Jared Verse out of Florida State. He's an edge rusher. I've had him in multiple mock drafts already. I feel like Jared Verse is going to be an absolute monster in the National Football League. He had major production while at Florida State. I think he's a plug-and-play player. Put him alongside Montez Sweat, and I think it's going to be a beautiful situation. This guy has a very high motor, a flurry of pass rush moves. He's always in the backfield, and I think this would be a perfect pick for Chicago Bears. Then moving on to round 2, pick number 44, I would have the Chicago Bears picking wide receiver Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. And this dude, Bears fans, is a freak athlete. If he makes it to the 2nd round, this would be an absolute steal. I know he's going to be rising up the draft boards. This guy is 6'3", runs a 4.3 40, so he's big, fast, physical. He can block. He can do everything that you need him to do at the wide receiver position. The only big knock on a guy like this is that he only has 1 year of major production. He's still kind of learning the route tree as well. So that may drop his draft stock just quite a bit, but he's a freak athlete. I think pairing him with Brock Bowers, DJ Moore, and Caleb Williams would be something special in Chicago. And once again, gives Caleb Williams yet another weapon to throw to. And once again, missing out on guys like Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Nabers, and Rome Odunze. The Bears would be in search to add one more receiver on the outside to pair with a guy like DJ Moore. I know that Brock Bowers is a good option, but he is a tight end. You can use him in many different ways, but I think the Bears would still be in search to pair someone with DJ Moore and put a guy like Xavier Legette on the outside. So Bears fans, that would be option A, and that's obviously the option where the Bears take Caleb Williams and trade Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons for the 8th overall pick. But now I'm going to share with you guys option B. And then once I'm done sharing option B, you guys can choose between option A and option B and which one you would prefer for the Chicago Bears. So Bears fans, option B starts off with a trade down from the number 1 overall spot, trading with the New England Patriots, and the Bears receive the 3rd overall pick, a 2nd round pick at pick number 34 overall, a 2025 1st round pick, and defensive lineman Christian Barmore. Barmore is only 24 years old, stands at 6'5", 315 pounds. Obviously, the Bears are still looking for that 3-tech defensive lineman. I think this would be a massive piece to a trade down with the New England Patriots. I think this would be a no-brainer for the Chicago Bears. You add in a very athletic player, a guy that can consistently get in the backfield, a guy that is really good at stopping the run as well. And once again, he's still only 24 years old. Once again, you're still in the position to pick at number 3 overall. You add a 2nd round pick to your arsenal, and you add a future 1st round pick as well. So I think that's one of the major benefits of trading down from the number 1 overall spot. You get massive draft capital. You may be able to add a player as well, rather than just picking the best player available in guy like Caleb Williams. You're able to trade down, get a game-changing player on the defensive line, and you also get a future 1st round pick as well. Then from there, with the 3rd overall pick, I have the Chicago Bears taking wide receiver Marvin Harrison Jr. out of Ohio State. Obviously, you guys know how I feel about Marvin Harrison Jr., an instant game changer. Put him alongside DJ Moore. DJ Moore can now go into the slot. Really like the idea of DJ Moore going in the slot. Marvin Harrison Jr. would be a game changer for Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears offense. An instant upgrade at the wide receiver position. I think this would be a no-brainer for the Chicago Bears if they do go this route. Then in option B, I do the same trade that I did in option A. I trade the number 9 overall pick to the Las Vegas Raiders. In return, I get the 13th overall selection and a round 2 pick, pick 44 overall. And with the 13th overall pick, I pick edge rusher Dallas Turner out of Alabama. Dallas Turner is another monster at the edge rusher position coming out for the 2024 NFL Draft. When you look at a guy like Dallas Turner, once again, highly productive player out of Alabama. He's a relentless edge rusher, always in the backfield. I think pairing him once again with a guy like Montez Sweat would be something very special on this defensive line. Once again, don't forget that I did get Christian Barmore in a trade with the New England Patriots. You add Barmore, you add Dallas Turner. Of course, you have Montez Sweat on the other side. I think that'd be a beautiful situation for the Chicago Bears defensive line moving forward, adding a guy like Dallas Turner. Then in round 2 at pick number 34, I have the Chicago Bears selecting Tyler Nubin, safety out of Minnesota. I have had Nubin in many of my mock drafts before. This would be Eddie Jackson's replacement. This guy is a ball hawk safety. He's very versatile. He can play in the box. He can play free safety, but obviously if we do get rid of Eddie Jackson, this would be Eddie Jackson's replacement. Really love him as a player. I think he would be a plug-and-play player, a day 1 starter for the Chicago Bears defense. And I just feel like this would be really good value to add to the Chicago Bears roster in round 2. Then in my 2nd round 2 pick at pick number 44, I still have the Chicago Bears picking wide receiver Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. Now imagine this, Bears fans. In option A, I had the Chicago Bears taking Brock Bowers and Xavier Legette. In this option, the Chicago Bears would be able to get Marvin Harrison Jr. and Xavier Legette. So imagine Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, and Xavier Legette. I think that would be absolutely ridiculous on the Chicago Bears offense. Rather, if you love Justin Fields or hate Justin Fields, I think this would be an absolute scary offense. I think either way that you go, I think it does sound nice with Brock Bowers, Xavier Legette, and DJ Moore, but this just sounds so explosive. Marvin Harrison Jr., DJ Moore, Cole Kmet, and Xavier Legette, this would be absolutely ridiculous, Bears fans. And I do want to make this very clear that in both options A and B, I only did a 2-round mock draft. Obviously, I would pick a center in Cedric Van Pran in round 3 out of Georgia, a guy that can develop into something special, maybe even be a day 1 starter for the Chicago Bears. So I just want to let you guys know that I did not neglect the offensive line. I definitely did not neglect the center position. I am very well that whoever plays the quarterback position needs to have a good center in place moving forward. I know that's very, very important. I just want to let you guys know that I did not purposely neglect that position in this 2-round mock draft. So, all right, Bears fans, that now completes the 2 different scenarios that Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears could possibly go. And let me know down below which one you prefer. Do you prefer option A, where we get Caleb Williams and trade Justin Fields, or do you prefer option B, where we trade down, get an absolute haul, maybe add a player, and you're still able to get Marvin Harrison Jr., still able to get one of the top edge rushers or top offensive tackles in the draft, and you can still get a guy like Xavier Legette in round 2 as well. So go ahead and comment down below, which option do you prefer the Chicago Bears to go in the 2024 NFL Draft? Option A or option B? Overall, Bears fans, Ryan Poles and the Chicago Bears cannot lose in any of these situations. I think any way that Ryan Poles chooses to go can make the Chicago Bears a better football team. Personally, if I was Ryan Poles, you guys already know that I would choose option B to be able to trade down and get a game-changing defensive lineman from New England, to be able to get a next year's first as well, to add a second-round pick, to still be able to get Marvin Harrison Jr., one of the best edge rushers in this year's NFL draft, and Dallas Turner. Still get Tyler Nubin and Xavier Legette all in one draft. I think it would be special for the Chicago Bears and be special for Ryan Poles in this year's NFL draft. I'm not hating on option A. I think picking Caleb Williams at number 1 and then getting him a tight end Brock Bowers and then still being able to get a guy like Xavier Legette would also be a very good option. But personally, I just think it's smarter to trade down, stack the draft capital, and continue to build around quarterback Justin Fields. But this is going to be a really interesting offseason for the Chicago Bears and Ryan Poles, and I literally cannot wait for the NFL draft this year for the Chicago Bears. But before I let you guys go, make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and the notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. Better than that, be back for our all-new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and as always, bear down.
You've been listening to Geek on the Mic, a podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Thanks, guys, and bear down.